city hospital was always a place filled with urgency. Doctors rushing from ward to ward, patients waiting anxiously, nurses calling out names in the lobby. But that rainy evening, something happened that not even the most experienced staff could have imagined. Through the automatic sliding doors, a tiny golden brown puppy staggered inside, dripping wet, his little paws leaving trails of water across the tiled floor. He was no more than 3 months old, with ribs faintly showing through his soaked fur. Yet, clenched tightly in his jaws, he carried something unusual, a black bag, heavy for his small frame. People in the lobby gasped as the puppy, trembling and exhausted, stood upright on his hind legs, pressing his front paws together as if begging for help. His eyes were wide, filled with both pain and desperation, as though he understood that this was his last chance. Dr. Amelia Carter, a compassionate young physician who had just finished her rounds, rushed toward the puppy. She gently crouched down, speaking softly. "It's okay, little one. Show me what's inside." The puppy dropped the bag with a soft whimper. Amelia carefully unzipped it and froze. Inside lay a tiny rabbit, its white fur stained with blood, breathing shallowly. The room went silent. The puppy let out a desperate bark and nudged the bag forward, his tail wagging weakly as if pleading, "Please save my friend." Without hesitation, Amelia scooped the rabbit into her arms and shouted for assistance. Nurses rushed to her side, grabbing medical supplies. The rabbit had a broken leg and was hypothermic, but it still had a chance. While the staff worked frantically, the puppy refused to move. He lay down beside the stretcher, his head pressed against the rabbit's fur, his eyes never leaving his friend. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, Amelia looked up with relief. "She's stable. We saved her." The lobby erupted in applause. Even patients in wheelchairs had tears in their eyes. No one could believe what they had just witnessed. A stray puppy carrying his injured companion into a hospital to save her life. But the story was far from over. Just as the rabbit was taken into recovery, the puppy suddenly perked up. His ears twitched, and he ran toward a nearby hallway, barking insistently. He stopped at a closed ward door, scratching at it with urgency. Confused, Dr. Amelia followed. "What is it, boy? What are you trying to tell me?" The puppy pressed his paws together again, letting out a soft, sorrowful whimper. He kept glancing at the door, then back at her as if urging her to hurry. Finally, a nurse opened the door. Inside, an elderly man lay unconscious on a bed. His monitors were showing dangerously unstable readings, and no one had noticed yet. His oxygen levels had dropped suddenly, and he was minutes away from cardiac arrest. Amelia's heart skipped. "Code Blue, get the crash cart now," she shouted. The team rushed in, performing emergency intervention. Within minutes, the man's breathing stabilized. His pulse returned. He was alive. As the tension broke, everyone turned to look at the little puppy sitting quietly at the door. His job was done. He wagged his tail once, then lay down utterly drained. News of the miracle puppy spread across the hospital, and soon the entire city knew his story. Journalists came, patients cried, and staff whispered in awe. How did he know? How could a puppy sense all that? Dr. Amelia, however, knew the answer in her heart. It doesn't matter how, what matters is that he cared. The rabbit recovered fully, hopping happily again after weeks of care. The elderly man visited the hospital weeks later, bringing flowers and tears of gratitude. But the puppy, the true hero, became the soul of the hospital. Nurses took turns feeding him, patients stroked him for comfort, and the hospital administration declared him their official therapy dog. As for Amelia, she made a promise the day she saw him nearly collapse from exhaustion. "You'll never have to beg for help again. From now on, you're family." She adopted him, giving him a warm home, a name, Hope, and a life filled with love. And every night, when Hope curled at the foot of her bed, Amelia remembered the day a shivering puppy walked into a hospital with a black bag, carrying not just a rabbit's fragile life, but also a message for all humanity. Compassion can come from the smallest of hearts.